What's up, everybody? It's your favorite Yogi's favorite nerd. Reason why I say Yogi is because he got his third eye going on. Namaste, you know what I mean? But today we are looking at the SH Figuarts Tien. Now on the box it says something different, but I've been advised by Joe KW that his name is Tien. So it's like, let me get it real quick. It's worth looking at. Tension, tension on, I don't know. Doesn't ultimately matter. But this is all known to me once again from Energon Addict, member of Breaking the Mold and Realm of Collectors, and Breaking the Mold is part of the Cool Table Network. This guy is pretty cool. Let's get into him. Some people have told me that they really enjoy my Dragon Ball reviews because I don't know what I'm doing, or in terms of what I'm talking about, so it's been kind of funny for them to watch. So this one may be no different. So we got two Stop in the Name of Love hands. We got two of these used to be such strong hands, and then we have two Rockefeller fan hands, you know, where you're throwing them. I'm sorry, that's funny to me. And then we have one Obi-Wan Kenobi using the Force hand. And the cool thing about those Rockefeller hands is that you can pull off this pose with them, and they're actually like, you know, ported and tabbed on opposite hands, so they actually hold, if you get them lined up right, they'll hold pretty well on their own accord. Now, of course, I'm going to have trouble doing it, but you get the point. So we have this fella, which I can tell you was a bit confusing to me when I got him out of the box. What the f*** is this? Be that as it may. The head is white. We got the black paint that's done very clean, as is the red ball on top. And then we have the red paint on the side of the cheeks, the pink paint in the mouth, and then the eyes, which are all painted extremely well and sharp. There's no real articulation to the figure itself, just in terms of the head, which is on a double ball peg. You get up to there, down to there, and a swivel. We have the bracelets, which are sculpted and painted. We have the tank top, which is painted and sculpted. Same for the belt. The pants are black. The yellow is painted on, which looks really good considering it's yellow. And then the gray paint is painted on the bottom of the shoes, and that is sculpted. Now, he also comes with this back plate. I'm not exactly sure. I guess this clips on, like, yeah, and then he holds on like that. So this clips on to another character, and then you can have him like Yoda. And then we get three different heads, and all three heads come with these little support things. Like, I'm not exactly sure why, and it's a tight connection to get them on and off. I've just never seen Figuarts do something like this before. But you got one, I bet you didn't notice the thumbtacks I put on your chair face. And then you got one, I just sat on the thumbtack on the chair face. And then one, who put the thumbtack on this chair face? But they're all really painted well and sculpted well, and everything is really clean and sharp, and there's no real complaints. I just am not sure why we have this support system on this particular figure and not on the other ones. I don't see anything that indicates to me that it would need anything different, but maybe I'm wrong. So let's talk about the figure. The head is on a double ball peg, I believe, from the head into the neck. No. So it's a ball peg into a ball hinge. That probably works even better, especially because you have that real narrow neck at the top and then a single hinge down at the bottom. So using both, you can get the head all the way down, all the way up, side to side. That's really, really well done. Paint detailing is done on this just as well as it's done on the others, which is to say quite well indeed. Then we have an old school butterfly joint. So it's done the same way, ball peg into, except this ball peg is into the butterfly joint. So the butterfly joint isn't like a shield. It's a little tight, but you can get it out pretty far, so to speak. Fairly impressive, but you don't get anything back. But I'd rather have bend forward than bend back. Then you have a basically a disc hinge that goes into a ball peg into that butterfly joint, getting the arm out to there, around to there, out to the side, no problem. Bicep swivel, and it's done pretty much at the muscles, so I'm good with that. Double jointed elbow, muscle sculpting is done really well throughout, sharp and clean. Well, we'll continue on. Bracelets are all sculpted, painted red and green, extremely sharp and clean. Red and green, extremely clean. And then we have a ball hinge wrist that will get you in out, or you can swivel it around, I'm sure, yes, to get the up down. So perfectly done. Same for the other side. Double ball peg from the upper body into the abdomen. That'll get you a swivel as well and a little bit of a teapot. And then a single from the lower into the... Actually, is it? Yeah, it is. It's just on a long stem, and they can pull off the long stem because they have this soft belt here to cover up the gaps. So that is... Oh, that's actually enables him to move quite freely. Forward, back, side to side. Extremely well done. Really. So... we got universals for hips. I'm not sure. Unfortunately, you can't get... Let me make sure. So if you hide the hip skirts and then you open it up, it puts the hips a bit forward, but you can get out pretty far to the side. So I'm going to give them credit for that. And then forward and back is absolutely no problem for the full Monty. Thigh swivel, double jointed knee. Not the prettiest, you know, due to the baggy pants. I think that's just kind of a cost of doing business thing. I'm not sure how they could have hidden that unless this was a very thin plastic and they kind of had a guard that went between. And I guess they could have done that. But either way, still pretty well done. Nice shading done throughout on the pants. Looks really natural. I'm not sure why they didn't do it really on the back. It's just sort of on the front, which is a little cheap. But whatever. And then we have this yellow down here at the bottom, which is probably a separate piece. Double ball peg from the ankle into the foot, but we have a nice bit of sculpting here, so that gets us a fairly good ankle tilt up, a fairly good ankle tilt down, and a pretty impressive ankle rocker and toe hinge. So all in all, honestly, it's pretty close to perfect. Not quite perfect, but pretty close. Size comparison wise, just because I happen to still have him handy, there he is with a Marvel Legend. So kind of typical SH Figuarts Dragonball-Z height. I think he should fit in with your line probably perfectly. And for those that need a more specific measurement, it's about 5 3/4. Final thoughts wise, my only real issues is they could probably, this knee, the aesthetics of this knee could get better. It's pretty good. It's not a big deal. But the aesthetics of that knee could get better. This is not his stand. This is a Mafex stand. I just use it kind of when I want to do some exciting poses. I think that's it. It's really, honestly, it's really well done. Like, the articulation works beautifully. I mean, look at that pose. And I didn't take too long with that. I was just kind of throwing something together, and it just lends itself so naturally. It's such a playable figure. It's insane. The fun factor is all the way up there. The paint is clean. We got some shading. They could have put shading on the back. That's another little nitpick I'll throw in. They could have put shading on the back of the pants. That seems really lousy. And it wouldn't have hurt them, you know, wouldn't kill them to put some shading on the skin tones as well. But they're probably going for a more animated look, so I get them not doing that. But they definitely could have done it with the pants. Now, I'll also say that the sculpt is beautiful. The articulation, we've already kind of harped on that. It's splendid. It's outstanding. It's easily the best one I've looked at so far. It has a strong presence, and that's with me not even knowing who the character is. It still looks cool. Plenty of hand options. You get this little clown guy hanging out, you know, so that's not bad. So I don't really have much bad to say about it. It's exceptional. It's an exceptionally made figure. If you're into the line or into the character, I strongly recommend it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.